Y'all boys, I am going to be finally making this swing trading video. This is a video I was supposed to make a couple days ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, but yeah, I finally got time to make it. I'm gonna try and get back to actually uploading, bro, because that was the whole point of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get y'all profitable. So yeah, this is the swing trading strategy that I use to make roughly like 10,000 a month. You know, some months are gonna be higher, some months are lower, but on average, it's around 10,000. And this is completely separate than day trading. The money I make from day trading is completely different than this money I make from swing trading. That's just food for thought. Like take that into perspective. Take that into perspective of how much you can actually make doing both. So yeah, swing trading is a little different than day trading. It's just swing trading, you're holding your position into the next day or the next week or the next month. It just means you're swinging it longer than a day. Whereas, you know, day trading, you're getting in, you're getting out within the same day. That's really the whole difference between the two. And most of the positions that I signal, that I enter are going to be shares when I'm swing trading. But yeah, it's a lot easier to understand. Like this strategy I'm going to show y'all is a lot easier to understand. It's a lot straightforward. It's a lot more straightforward, and it's a lot less risky. Like the risk is so small compared to the reward, and that's why I like swing trading a little bit more. But I mean, I still day trade just because I'm good at it. And say if I lose a day trade, I'm probably still baking that day on the swing trade. So it just makes sense to do both. But yeah, I'm not really gonna waste too much of your time. Let's get straight into it. All right, so I did end up, I mean, I'm outside, so there's going to be no camera for this video, but I mean, that doesn't really matter. You guys aren't here to see me, you're here to learn. So yeah, just had to put that out there. Oh, also, this swing trading strategy is very similar to the strategy that Morgan uses. So if you know who that is, I did pick this up off of him a few years ago, but over time, over the years, I did like refine it into my own, like the way that I trade and the way that I understand it the best. So yeah, I just had to put that out there as well. But yeah, so what you're gonna be looking for, you wanna look for your setups on the daily chart. So yeah, this is the daily chart, and this is normally gonna be sitting on the 5 minute because that's where I take my entries. And if you don't know what this software that I'm using is, this is Webull. So yeah, you wanna make sure you have a Webull account. Go ahead and open one of those if you don't have one. Webull cash account. Once you get into Webull, make sure you get a cash account. And yeah, so what we're looking for is uh, the breakout setups. We're gonna be looking for them on the daily chart. And what you want to see is a 50% or more move. Like here's a good example. This is from this low here to this high here. That's a 51% move. I don't know if you saw that, but let me show you. From this low to this high, it's 51%. Took 2 days for that to happen. And then after that happens, what you want to see is um what's it called, you want to see this big move when you want to see price start to pull back to the 9 EMA, and you want to see lower highs and higher lows to form this little range or wedge, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so as you can see here, there's lower lows here, I mean lower highs and higher lows. Sorry if I said that wrong, but yeah, you want to see a wedge form like this. And yeah, what you want to see, this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see your EMAs align exactly like this at a 45-degree angle. Like this is clear. This is the 45-degree angle we're talking about. Obviously here this wasn't ideal, but um this angle is what you want to see. The 9 EMA on top, 21 below that, and the 50. So yeah, these are the EMAs that I use, and these are the EMAs that you should be using. The 9, the 21, and the 50. So yeah, and I'm gonna show you guys a better example, one that I actually signaled in my Discord. I mean, this is a pretty clean example of what I'm talking about. So yeah, here we are. Again, you want to see a 50% plus move breakout away from the 9 EMA. So obviously this was a 90% move from that low to this high. What was it, 3 days? Let's see. How long did this take? Yeah, 3 days, 90% move. And um after that, like I said, you want to see lower highs, you want to see higher lows to form a range, right? And this is exactly what I mean by the EMAs lining up at a 45-degree angle. So obviously the 9 EMAs on top, 21 below it, 50 below that. And yeah, this is very ideal. And so an indicator, oh shit. Sorry, my speech is kind of bad. But a indication that will tell you that a breakout is coming either the next day or pretty soon is where you have this doji. I don't know if you call them dojis or what, because I'm not really too familiar with just candlestick patterns, whatever you guys want to call them. But yeah, I think this is a doji, but it just, to me, it's just a consolidation day where we didn't really go higher, we didn't really go lower. It's just flat. So a day like that is usually going to indicate that the next day or within the next few days we're going to get a breakout. So yeah, so let me get rid of these, and I'm just going to show you closely what I'm talking about. This candle right here, this one, this is like a doji. I mean, this was also a doji. And if you're in the Discord, I signaled this on the 21st. So yeah, this day is where we got in. And I mean, currently I think we're sitting up like 30 something percent, and I'm up about like 12 or $1,300. We did take a trim though, so yeah. Let me just say everything again so you guys can understand it. And I'm sorry if I'm talking a bit fast. That's just how I talk. But if you have to go back or slower, like lower the playback speed or whatever, feel free to do all that. But I'm just gonna say it again. I'm gonna try and explain what I'm saying again. So again, what you want to see, you want to go look for your setups on the daily chart. You want to see a breakout away from the 9 EMA. This orange one is the 9 EMA. And you want to see a 50% or plus, 50% or more move of the breakout. You want the breakout to be at least 50%. So yeah, as you can see from that low to this high, it's 85. I mean, before it was 90, it was 90 something. Yeah, it was 92. It's a 92% move. That's ideal. This is what we like to see. And next, you want to see a range being formed of lower highs and higher lows. That's what you want to see. The next thing you want to see, you want to pay attention to, is that the 9 EMA is on top of the 21 and the 21 is on top of the 50. So you want them all to align perfectly like this at a 45-degree angle, just like this. And the next thing you want to see is volume dying. So yeah, as you can see, the volume was dying within this move. Within this range being formed, the volume was dying. So yeah, all of those will normally lead to something like this. And the day before you're taking your entry, you want to see a move, not a move, but a candle like this. I think this is called a doji. But yeah, that's what you want to see. And yeah, it's really, this strategy is very fucking simple. Like, you're not risking much. Um Me personally, I only risk $200 on any of these swing trades. And yeah, so you don't want to risk more than 1% of your account. And yeah, my account has grew more than the size for me to just be risking $200, but that's just what I'm comfortable with risking. So yeah, 200 is less than 1% of my account now, but when I started using this strategy, that's what it was. It was 1% of my account. So yeah, you should only be risking 1% of your account. And yeah, for me it's $200. And I'm gonna show you guys how to calculate your risk here in a second. But yeah, what else? What else about this strategy should you know? Entry. Yeah, let me just explain how I take my entry. So yeah. Again, I'm just gonna show you guys this wedge again. This was the wedge I was talking about. Lower highs, higher lows. And then we're gonna go down to the 5 minute because that's where I take my entries. So I signaled the entry on the 21st. If I'm correct, yeah. I signaled the entry in my Discord on the 21st. So all I want to see on the day I'm gonna take the entry, which is the day after this doji formed, all I'm looking for is a break of the first 5 minute candles high, or if we open lower than the previous day, like we make an opening gap lower than the previous day, all I want to see is a break of the previous day's recent high, like this right here. That's all I want to see is a break of. So Either the first 5 minute candle high to get broken, take an entry there, use the low of day as a stop, or if we open lower than the previous day and create an opening gap, I want to see the previous day's recent high like this get broke. So this high right here, once this got broken, that's when I signaled it. I'm pretty sure I signaled at 1.08 in the chat. I'm not 100% sure, and then the risk was 1.03. You guys in the Discord, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what my signal was. And yeah, you just risked low of day, so it's really simple. And yeah, your win percentage on this is not. I mean, it's not gonna be always. It's not gonna be that high. But when you win using this strategy, your wins are going to be huge. That's one thing I will say. So yeah, and again, another thing, if you miss the entry, you can wait for it to pull back because normally you're gonna get some sort of pullback within the day, and then you can enter there and use the low of the day as a stop still. So yeah, don't feel like just because you missed it early on in the day, that the whole trade is over with. You can still there's still time to enter. This is a swing strategy. You feel me? This isn't a day trade strategy. So yeah, there's time to enter. But yeah, as far as risking only 1% of your account, so for me, like I said, I'm only risking $200 on any trade I take using this strategy. So to calculate that risk, what you're gonna do is whatever your risk is. So for me, it's 200, but you're gonna take that risk and you're gonna divide it by whatever the entry is minus your stop loss, and that will give you the number of contracts that you can enter with and be able to risk 1% of your account. So yeah, this is your risk calculator, guys. I'm gonna here. Let me show you an example. So say my risk is $200, which is what it is. So 200, right? I would divide 200 by what did I tell you guys that I entered 1.08, right? That's my entry minus the stop loss, which is 1.03. And I'm pretty sure I bought like 4,000 cons. I don't remember, but I'm gonna use my calculator real quick to see that. 1 second. So 200 divided by 1.08 minus 1.03, and then we get, yeah, 4,000. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. So I bought 4,000 contracts that day, and yeah, once we got up, okay, so that's another thing we got to talk about. You taking your trims. So for you to take a trim, for me to take a trim, I wait until we're up about at least 4 or 5 times the amount that I'm risking. So once I'm up 800 or 1,000, depending on how the stock is moving, that's when I'm gonna take my biggest trim. My biggest trim is usually 20% or 30%. It's 20 to 30%, and then after that, every trim I take after that is just 10%. So yeah, so say, I mean, the day I signaled a trim was, I think it was yesterday. I signaled a trim once we were up like 30%. And yeah, that's because I was up $1,200. So yeah, I took my first trim, which was 20%. And yeah, after that, every trim is just going to be 10%. But the way to get out of this, the way to get out of a trade using this strategy, you just want to wait until the daily candle closes below the 9 EMA. So once you see this candle close below here, that's when you sell the full position. But as we're going up, because this is a swing trade strategy, so you're going to be like inclining slowly. And yeah, you're going to be taking trims I usually take my trims every, what is it, every 15 to 20%. I usually take a trim, and I signal those trims too. But yeah, if the stock is just skyrocketing, like say like this is moving like ridiculously and we're up here and the 9 EMA is way down here, you're not gonna want to wait for this thing to come all the way back down before you get out, right? Because you're gonna lose out on a lot of gains. So yeah, if the stock is moving ridiculously like that, we're gonna be trailing with the daily lows. Like this daily low, I would move my stop here. The next daily low, I'll move my stop there. Like as this stock is just continuous. Oh my God, sorry. As this stock is continuously rising, we're gonna be trailing it with the daily lows. If the 9 EMA is like, if we're super far away from the 9 EMA like this, we're not gonna wait for it to come back here. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, this is our entry, but we don't want to wait for something like this. And obviously, here it didn't even close below the 9 EMA, but that's just what I'm just trying to explain to you guys. Like, you don't always have to wait for you don't always have to wait for it to close below the 9 EMA to get out of your full position. Majority of the time you do, but like again, like I said, on rare occasions the stock is just going to be skyrocketing and you don't want to lose out on all your gains. So yeah, you're going to be trailing it with the daily candle lows. But what else? What else? Shit, I mean, you guys do need to actually know how to find these type of stocks and these type of trades. So I'm gonna go over my stock screener, the way that I pick these stocks and everything that I use, and also my setup. So yeah, let's go over the setup. Go to custom, and this is pretty much the same as Morgan's, but this is exactly the same setup that I use. So you just want to have your chart over here. You want to have your positions right here, your trade right there, orders right there, and your watch list right here. This is what I use for options. This is a lot different. We'll go over that in another video. This might look like rocket science to some of you guys, but yeah, that's for another time. For now, just keep it very simple, and this is what you want to be looking at. So to make this, I'm just gonna make a blank layout so I can show you guys how I do it. So you want to add your chart there, and then everything else you need is going to be shit. You need the classic trade, you need your orders, you need positions, and what was the last thing? Watch list, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was watch list. So those are the four widgets you need, and literally all you have to do is drag this, add it to the positions, drag this, add it there, and then the last one, orders, literally just drag this, just add it there, so everything is on the same tab, and then you just move that there. Webull makes it very easy to use. So yeah, and then you just make this half of your screen, and then you make your chart half of your screen as well. But one thing you really need to actually pay attention to is you have to make sure these are linked together, because say if I'm watching, say if I'm this says SPY, right? You see how this says SPY, and over here is SPY, but if I go to QQQ on here, it doesn't change straight to QQQ over there. So for that to happen, what you have to do is set it as a group. So then you just turn this into a group as well, and then it syncs everything up. So say if I'm on my watch list here, click CVS, it'll change the chart to CVS as well, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. So yeah, and what I meant by I'm only risking 200 per trade. I'm gonna show you guys. So yeah, let's type in Tilray, which is the stock that we're currently in. Yeah, you don't really need any of these technicals, by the way. So yeah, you guys can turn those off. But yeah, Tilray. So you want to make sure your entries, this is how you're going to enter. If I'm signaling something, or if you're going to take a trade yourself, this is how you want to do it. You want to make sure it's on market, and time and force for market is always going to be day, but you want your time and force. I try to make sure you guys know your time and force is good till canceled. I say that a lot in the Discord, but yeah, so you want to make sure you have your stop loss on. Do not have the take profit on, because we take trims. We don't take profit. Like, you don't just have it take profit. You just take trims. But so I mean, okay, so for this example, I'm gonna make it a limit just so I can show you guys what I was at, like how I was able to only risk $200. So yeah, I entered at 1.08, right? And my stop loss was 1.03, 1.03 dollar amount. So, and I was able to get in with 4,000 shares, and I was only risking $200. Yes, it costed me $4,000 to get into this position, but I'm only risking $200, and it might sound crazy, but that's how this works. Like, the risk is so small compared to the reward. Like I said, right now I'm up only 30%, right? But I'm up $1,200. So if you're understanding what I mean, like, that's how you're able to make a lot of money while only risking a little bit amount of money. It just makes, yeah, swing trading it's just, you guys know what I'm trying to say. It just makes a lot of sense to do this. But yeah, what else do I need to go over? Um, oh, stock screener. So yeah, this is the stock screener that I use. It's TradingView. So yours isn't gonna look like this off the rip. It's gonna probably look like shit. It'll probably just be regular, like shit. I don't know, but I don't know what it'll look like. But this is what you just want to make sure you have my settings applied. So this is what you want to add. Your average daily range. You want to make sure it's above or equal to 5%. That just means that the stocks that we're gonna be looking at, they move more than 5% within a day on average. The price of the stocks, you want them between $1 to $60. That just gives us, well, for me personally, that just gives me these stocks. I'm able to buy a decent amount of shares. I just want to like have a comfortable amount of shares to where I can make a comfortable amount of money. It just makes sense. And then your turnover, you want it at 30 million, and your change price change over 1 month above 40%. This just makes sure that we're looking at the top 2% of stocks over the last 30 days. And sometimes I move this down to sometimes I move it down to 30%, but usually it's around 40. And yeah, that's how we're able to filter out between the stocks that we want to see. And yeah, you just check these out, go add them to your watch list or whatever. But yeah, my watch list only consists of 2 stocks right now. Like, yeah, my watch list, it only has 2 stocks that I'm actually looking at right now. Everything else is recently viewed. But yeah, these are the only 2 that I'm actually paying attention to. And yeah, so that's the stock screener. This is what you're going to use to find what stocks you want to trade and find those setups before they happen. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to go over for this strategy. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. But if I was going too fast and you didn't really understand, you have my Instagram. My Instagram is in the bio. My Discord is in the bio. I will be answering any questions that y'all have. I would love to answer any questions that y'all have. And yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. It was pretty quick, but it was pretty informative over the swing trading strategy that I use. And yeah.